Good morning to all of you good people, wherever you're watching us from. We're grateful that you've made it a point to join us. As always, the AM show is brought to you live on this channel, JoyNews. And as always, you can also get interactive on Facebook, JoyNews on TV. It's where, as you know, you can give us more of your messages. You can also watch us live through our regular channel on YouTube. And we know data is cheap. That's a good thing about Ghana's telecom industry. So you can also be streaming live as you watch us through our regular channel on YouTube, My Joy Online TV. And just after the program, many of the segments on the show, just like other regular programming on the channel, we upload on that My Joy Online TV channel on YouTube. But look, over the weekend I was getting some great messages, reading a lot of motivational issues. I came about this motivation from Jim Collins. I wanted to run it to you. It's about the power of giving. And giving doesn't only mean that you have to give only in alms, that is what you have in your pocket, in money, etc. But also giving what you have by way of your talent, also by way of your advice, your counsel, and many other things that will help improve others around you. Giving also means that trying to motivate other people to be at par or even above what you are, where you have reached and where your community is. Because many of the times, we tend to ignore or gloss over people who we need to give to. There are people around that just outside our gates in our houses, for example, or just our doors who need our help. You never know who you may be talking to that you're giving to. You never know who you may be speaking to that you're motivating. You never know somebody who would need maybe that old shirt that you shred and put in your dustbin and get throw away because you think it's waste. You never know how that person needs that sort of advice or that tutorial that will prepare him or her for that great examination. Okay, and that is why the power of giving has been ascribed in all religions across the world, whether it's the Islamic faith, the Christian faith, or the even normal traditional faith that we have, or even you're a Buddhist, etc., or even you're a Hindu, the power of giving. Giving also means that you don't want anything in return, but you know and are sure that you'll be blessed. So giving is something that we all need to inculcate in our lives from this morning. So if you don't have that power of giving, please know that you have to, imbibe that. Make it part of you. Give. Give what you have emotionally. Give what you have by your own way of resources, and give by way of encouraging other people. We hope that we all will give what we have. It doesn't necessarily need to be money, need to be material resources, but also just making sure that we take care of the emotional well-being of others. And that is by way of our motivation. Today, we're going to have Mapito Sabidi joining us on the show. She'll be doing the latest news wrap-up, etc. But also make sure that you stay with us as we also have Joseph Akable, who will be joining me for the latest newspaper headline reviews. And we'll be looking at all the front page stories and also the back page stories on the various newspapers, and we'll look at some of the online portals. Just in the next few hours, we're going to have that controversial decision by Donald Trump's government to make sure that they relocate that U.S. embassy in Old Jerusalem being inaugurated. So the old Jerusalem city is going to see a new U.S. embassy. It's a bit controversial, and many stations and TV news outlets across the world have been talking about that division between the Palestinians, who still don't have that kind of statehood or nationhood that they need, and the Israelis. And the Israelis also talking about 71 years of nationhood, which they've done so well. So we'll be taking a look at it on the foreign front when we review the newspapers. But on the show today, we'll be talking to the Ghana Federation of the Disabled on why the association has issues with the disbursement of the District Assembly Common Fund. The Federation says it has only received reports from leaders of its own people, as well as individual people living with disabilities, stakeholders and civil society organizations in the disability fraternity across the country, about undue delays and sometimes confusion in the disbursement of the only 3% District Assembly's Common Fund allocation for persons with disabilities. So we'll be looking at why, as a country, we're not doing that commitment. Only 3%, and we still don't give it enough. Only 3%, and we're delayed. Why? So these are questions that we'll be asking this morning. Also on the show, we'll be hearing from the Director of Elections of the New Patriotic Party. We know they are the governing party. So we're asking him why there's a shift in date, or is there or not, for the annual delegates conference. It's a conference that is going to elect new executive nationally for the party. We know that a process had started from the grassroots level, from the branch or the ward level. Now they are onto the national level. So we're going to have new leaders already. Last week saw the end of picking up of nomination forms. And so we'll talk about it. We'll also discuss the modalities for the upcoming National Executive or Officer elections. And we'll be talking about our latest hotline documentary for this week, which explores why several tons of tomatoes are imported into Ghana every day from our own neighbors, Burkina Faso. And we'll be hearing from the producer of the documentary, Prince Appiah, what he saw on his journey, how he got investigated that we as Ghanaians apparently don't like our tomatoes. We like those of the Burkinabés. Why is that? So it's a great journey, Prince Appiah, and backed on. We'll bring you snipers of it.
Gate challenges from the farm gate to the market center. The planting season is here, and tomato farmers across the country will have to plant the season crop in anticipation of good harvest. It's just another day on the farm of Clement Kansaki. He's lived all his life in Avrongo. For more than 30 years, Clement cultivated tomatoes on a large scale.
I started farming in 1981. The time that finished this project, we started farming granules. About 2 years' time, when we produce tomatoes, getting to some time, the tomatoes, they are not buying because you can produce the tomatoes. In fact, this land is about 1,500 hectares. The other part we use for tomato. By getting to some time, we can produce tomatoes and it will rot. You can't get those.
Oh, so Clement Kansaki speaking to Prince Appiah in that hotline documentary we're premiering today. And so we'll be talking about it. Why we don't like our tomato. We grow it in Ghana. We leave it to rot, to glut, etc. Why? Why do we do that? So it's a question we'll be answering as well. But please get interactive again. Facebook, JoyNews on TV. We also have that interactive handle on Twitter, JoyNews on TV. And you can watch us live through our regular channel on YouTube, My Joy Online TV. Now we have to take a break. When we come back, we'll bring you all the things, latest news, sports, review of the newspapers, all coming up to the end of the hour. Stay with us. It is the Great AM Show.